This week on Design For You, we explore a classic contemporary home with Derek Tabbert.
What we try to do is really try and marry the inside with the outside.
We also see the latest furniture collection by the Urban Native. And if you're considering a bathroom makeover, we've got just the inspiration that you've been looking for.
It's all about being bold, and that's what Africa is about. We're very bold people.
All the best tips and advice for your interiors right here on Design For You, only on the Home Channel.
Grand Designs tells gripping tales of personalised homes and their owners. From architectural designer mansions to never-before-seen DIY homes, architect Chris Moller will chart their journeys. No design is too ambitious.
Our place will look over top of the buildings and get a full 180-degree view of the city.
No obstacle too large for these bold makers of grand designs.
There wasn't a lot of boulders here, quite frankly, because they were buried under the ground. And then in planning for the house and laying out the possible driveway, they uncovered 60 boulders.
All of these come from the drive and...
From there and there, yes.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is unbelievable. Just coming around the corner, the way that it is sitting in the landscape, it just feels like it belongs here.
Don't miss Grand Designs New Zealand, only on the Home Channel. The Property brothers Jonathan and Drew Scott turn any fixer-upper into a dream home.
Even though you do say that you want some traditional, maybe you consider this floor traditional.
I do.
But I hate it.
Each week, Drew tracks down a property with untapped potential for a set of house hunters.
Decisions. I can't make this decision for you. Which house do you see yourselves raising Everson in?
Once the deal is sealed, Jonathan gets to work transforming a simple house into a dream home.
I love you guys. Wow.
Wow.
Whoa, look at this.
Welcome home.
Wow. This is gorgeous.
Whoa. This is awesome.
I love this table. I love the gold on it.
My Dream Home, only on the Home Channel.
A table is more than a piece of furniture, just as food is more than mere fuel. When I moved into my first home many years ago, before I did anything else, I bought a table, and not just to eat at, but to live around. At my table, when I'm winding down at the end of a long day, they're ready for me, and I'm ready for them. Celebrating friendship at weekend feasts, or making memories with family, the food I eat is vibrant and varied. I can hear how good this is going to be. The essential, welcoming taste of home. There is no elegant way to eat them, and that's in their favour. Whether I'm pottering about at the stove or sitting at the table, I want pleasure, I want flavour, and I want ease. Life can be complicated. Cooking doesn't have to be.
On Real Health this week, we'll be taking a closer look at the causes and treatment solutions for chilblains. We'll be discussing iron deficiency anemia, as well as ways to maintain healthy iron levels. We'll then be discussing the health benefits of phytochemicals and some of the ways that we can incorporate them into our diets. Then we'll show you how to get the taste of the Far East with a tantalizing Thai stew. And we'll also be giving you tips to help you get unstuck and gain a new perspective for positive results. That's Real Health this week, only on the Home Channel.
Calling all green-fingered gurus and plant killers alike. We got you covered every month with gardening inspiration, hands-on practical advice, and fun projects to do. From the latest in plant fashion, growing your own, whether to prune or not to prune, from cover to cover, The Gardener and Detainee magazines have got your back. Get your copy now or subscribe online at thegardener.co.za.
Tanya Visser Live is proudly brought to you by Stark Airs, Seeds of Success. Gardena, passion every season. And TanyaVisser.com for all your gardening goodies and supplies.
Good morning, everybody. Hello, it's a beautiful, beautiful Thursday morning. It is the 13th. Is it the 13th? Yes, it is. Okay, but don't worry about that. None of us have got all that stress worried out. Guys, it's wonderful to be here again today. We've got an awesome topic, and it's lovely to see. We've got some regulars online. Renata's there. We've got Wendy. Hello. We've got the other Wendy from Hillcrest. That's the other Wendy. I know you know who you are. We've got Amit. Good morning. Jenny's back. Carol Hardwin. Carol, my distant cousin. Hello. Sending love to the family. I know we're very bad at that. We should connect more often. But it's good to see you here. Or good to know that you're there. I can't see you. You know what I mean. Anyway, Shani. Hello. Nice to see that you're here. Sally, back again. And Lavelle. Oh, guys, it's good. Do you know, I was lying in bed last night and I was thinking, I wonder who's going to be on? Who's going to be watching? Is it going to be some of my like regular? Like I kind of know you. Like I do know you. But guys, it's been a wonderful week. Weather has been a bit up and down. They've had rain in the Cape, which is great. Dams are full. We are still on our knees here in KZN praying for some rain because my water tanks are empty, guys, like empty, and I'm dying for rain. But it's August, which means it's the windy season, and yes, it has held up to that perfectly. In fact, last week after the live when I was telling you the monkeys were running on the roof, it wasn't the monkeys. Those were actually the seed pods falling, which were falling so hard on the tin roof above me that I thought that they were monkeys. But anyway, we've been really busy for the last few days. It's been a short week, and we have been filming for the new season of The Gardener on the home channel, guys, channel 176, if you don't know. And can you believe it, folks? We're filming at the moment for season 19. Cowabunga. Yeah, I was much thinner then, way less wrinkles, baby, and very much just a seedling in gardening when we started. But sure, filming for season 19, and COVID obviously really put the span in the works. So we've been having to play catch up, and it's been interesting, but loads and loads of fun, and we've got such a beautiful show lined up for you for season 19. Really fantastic. Guys, and it was Women's Day. Mwah, mwah, mwah. To all the beautiful women out there, I hope you were spoilt. Soft-boiled eggs, soldiers, a little flour, in bed. Yes? Tell me if you were spoilt. I want to hear this. I want to know if anybody was spoiled, because it's a very important day, and I hope your kids spoiled you, because moms are like the center of the relationship. They keep everybody in line. They sometimes are mostly the disciplinarians in the family, and just women all around the world. I don't want to get on a big rant, but most importantly, just happy Women's Day to all of you, and I hope that you were spoilt and loved by your partners, by your spouses, and by your kids. Right, let's see who else we've got on here this morning. Sharon from Westville, good morning. Oh, Renata's back. Hello, Renata. Yes. Naresh from Isipingo. Yes, I got there. Who else? Tracy from Swaziland. Tracy, oh my word. Tracy from Swaziland. Yes, you used to work for me. Oh, my shattered nerves. Wait, go back to that picture. Tracy, oh my gosh. Oh, wowza. Now we're going back. Oh, that's a time warp, baby. That's a time warp. Okay, what else? Felicity from Ganubi, East London. Nice part of the world. Glenn, good morning. Sherry's watching. Sherry, where are you from? Geraldine, Kutsia, from a chilly Grabo. Yes, I spoke to someone from Cape Town this morning. They said it's miserably cold there. Absolutely miserably cold. Let's go over here. Yeah, who else is there? Sharon, there you go. Oh, guys, it's good to see you all on board. Right. Okay, today we're talking about making more. Now, folks, it's every gardener. When you get one plant, okay, you've bought one special plant, and it doesn't matter if it's even not, like it's not a collectible item. We all have this intrinsic, something built in us. I think it's like the hunter-gatherer when COVID happened and all of a sudden everybody needed to be a provider, and we were going to go and become subsistence farmers and grow all our vegetables and keep our family healthy. I think it's that thing that drives us. And everybody, no matter what stage of gardening they are in, wants to grow something. Some of us have, in fact, probably, I'd say about 80% of gardeners have tried to grow an African violet from a leaf. Yes? Yeah, you're there. Remember, you had the one miserable African violet that was on the windowsill, and it was sitting in a saucer of a lost teacup that was stained. It's very stained. And it sits there, and this African violet was given to you by your other granny or your great granny. And some people just call people granny, and they're actually not related. I've got lots of those. And then you've got this, and you grew it from leaf, and you had it in a bit of tin foil, and you had it sitting in water, and you've all tried to grow an avocado pear tree from a pip, because you ate that one avo from that shop with the W, hey? And you were given one avo, and it tasted delicious, and you were determined to grow that avo tree. Hi, Bowena. You know, you do know if you're growing an avo from a pip that you're going to have to wait like 7, 8, 9 years before that thing's going to give you one fruit. Okay, but that's on another topic completely. But we've all grown it. You know, when you used to go and visit your aunts and uncles, I remember as a youngster on the kitchen windowsill, before this minimalistic whole thing came in, there were jars, old coffee jars with avo pips with matches stuck through them, impaled into them, and sitting there and sending up something. But that's the point. The point is we all want to grow something. So today we're going to show you how to grow many different things in different ways, because for different plants you need different applications or different methods. We're going to keep to the simple ones: softwood cuttings, semi-hardwood and hardwood cuttings, leaf cuttings we're going to do, and we are also going to show you basic techniques on how to get it right and how to make more. Because if you're wanting to, beg your pardon, if you're wanting to grow something and you're wanting to get lots more of them, what a better way to be able to do it. And it's one of the quickest ways. So you're going to need a few gizmos and gadgets around you to get going. I've got some great examples here to show you of what they look like when they have been growing. So all parts of the journey, we've got you covered. But where I want to start off with is timing. And timing is very, very important. Like with most things. And we're going to start off with this morning with softwood cuttings. So the first thing I want to share with you is your plant material. Okay, so it's really important that when you take your softwood cuttings, that you take it from, and this is for any plant material, in fact, this is your first rule, is that you take it from healthy plants. Okay, like if you're going to give a kidney, you know, if you've got one that's half functioning, you know, you're not going to go and give the other one away. In fact, the doctors won't even want it, even if you gave it away for free. So it's the same thing with plant material. You've got to take it from a healthy plant. Very importantly, healthy, disease-resistant or disease-free plant material. You also don't want to take cuttings from plants that are in flower, okay? But because we're showing you at slightly an earlier time, we are going to use one or two, but that is not exactly how you should, not the right time, because you're going to be doing it in a couple of weeks when these guys are over. These little Phygelius, which are indigenous, beautiful, great example of softwood cuttings. So, okay, so your plant material is critical. Also, don't pick your plant material and let it lie around like, okay, I picked it now. Okay, oh no, a cup of tea. Oh, I dash off to the shops. I don't have rooting powder. No. You get everything ready, all right? And then you go and take your cutting material. very important because the moment you cut it, it starts losing moisture, vigor, plus all its important plant hormones, okay? And we're going to talk about that. Yes, plants have hormones. They don't have estrogen, but they've got a lot of other hormones with very interesting names. Okay, so that's our plant material. We're going to put that one side. The next thing we're going to talk to you about is our medium, what we need. So this, what I'm showing you now is softwood cuttings, and there are going to be two ways we're going to do them, okay? Two different ways, depending on how many you've got. So we're going to do one into a tray like this. And guys, please, when you are sewing, please make sure that your tray is disinfected. If you are using it from, if you had something else growing in here and you've emptied that out, give it a good wash and then use a disinfectant on it. You can use something like Jik, or you can use F10. We use F10 for everything. Really for everything, but that is a great disinfectant, so we can use that and we just disinfect over there. Very, very important when you're doing any cuttings, because if you've got one spore of a fungal disease and you can't even see it, it's then going to multiply, grow, because it's in the perfect conditions. Because for growth we're needing heat, we're needing a bit of humidity. And, well, we know that fungal diseases love growing in that. Okay, so we are really creating the perfect environment for growth. So you want to make sure that whatever you're working with is sterilized. And that's going to go down as far as your secateurs. Okay, very important. So also sterilize your secateurs. There we go. And we're good to go. Now, I have to talk about these because, guys, I just want to wipe it off here just quickly, just so that I can give you a nice... I want to show you a deluxe, like Ferrari, Lamborghini, GTR with double exhaust pipe. One of those, and a blue light. Okay, guys, secateurs, you can get many on the market. You really can get so many types of secateurs, but this secateur and this secateur, I want to tell you, are the Ferraris. You'll notice something is missing. What's missing? The spring. Okay. A couple of weeks ago, I told you about what happens. The spring jumps out. Literally, it does. It jumps out of here. Or the garden gnomes pull it out while you're not looking and throw it over the fence to the neighbor, or it gets lost while you're busy gardening, and then you are literally finished, because the chances of you going to find another spring for that, working secateurs, or getting actually the discipline to get yourselves round to going to get it, is highly unlikely, which is why I love these. The springs are built into the system, which means they last forever and ever and ever. Plus, it's got a beautiful, soft, comfortable grip over here. Open and close, sharp, very, very, very sharp blades. And these are all stainless steel. Made in Germany, you're getting some really good quality. This I love because of the plastic. Do you see that there? Do you see that over there? Very hardened plastic. So when you're cutting into harder branches, so if you would be taking hardwood cuttings, Mace, come along with me over here. I want to show you how these secateurs work. So this is Nandina, which is called the sacred basil. And it's sometimes called, I got to tell you about this. This plant is sometimes called the prostitute plant. True story. So can you see it's got red leaves here? So in winter, we know this plant, you get the dwarf variety, you get the taller variety. And in winter, their leaves go beautiful, dark, dark red. And even their stems, can you see here? Can you see the stems are even going red? And these plants, back in the day, when prostitution was very, very illegal, and they couldn't exactly put a sign up there that said, yoo-hoo, they would take some of the stems of this plant, which are red, and they would tie those in a bunch and hang them outside their window, outside their doors. And that was a sign that business is open. Anyway, back to the plants, Tanya. Keep focused. So The reason why this, we were talking about secateurs, the reason why this is good is because if you've got hardwood cuttings that you're wanting to take, that you're wanting to cut, remember you never cut there. You never cut on the edge like that. No, you've got very little strength when it's there. Very little strength in your hands. When you put it in the middle, you've got more strength here, what we call torque, and there you go. Nice cut. Do another one there. Beautiful. Do you see that? Easy, right through. Lovely. Nice and simple. That is why we like these guys. Okay, so where was I now? Okay, so we got that. Let's just, I'm going to be using these ones, which are with a nice sharp edge, and I just want to quickly give them a sterilizing. Right, okay. The next thing you're going to need is some hormone powder. Okay, now let's talk about hormone powders. What are they? So hormone powders, guys, you get them in 3 different types, okay? You get number 1, number 2, and number 3. Let's put them in the order here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3, they come in small little guys like this because you really don't need a lot. And what is in here is basically, it's a carrier, which is the white stuff, okay, which is the white powder. But into this powder, plant hormones have been mixed. And the plant hormone, which is the one that I spoke to you a bit earlier about, that is the one that makes growth, okay? It's called auxins. Auxins are plant hormones, and they encourage growth, both vertical, so both leaf growth and root growth. And that is the most important thing. So when you're using plant rooting hormone powder, that's exactly what it does. You are attaching it to the surface and you're giving it a bit of a kickstart. Some people don't use them, but folks, really, every grower in South Africa uses rooting hormone powder, and it's really important if you want to get the good results. So you get 1, which is for softwood cuttings, which we're going to show today. 2, which is for semi-hardwood, and those are the cuttings that you take slightly lower down, all right? Semi-hardwood, it's self-explanatory. And then hardwood cuttings, which would be where you're taking from the lower branches, hardened stems that have actually a bit of bark formed on them, which is very much like the Nandina that we showed just now. Nandina is a hardwood cutting, okay? Because you can see it's not there. These are semi-hardwood, okay, semi-hardwood cuttings, and these are tip cuttings or softwood. Okay, so, right, let's get back here. Jumping around a little bit. Next up, what we're going to need is what are we going to be actually growing them in? And guys, everybody has different mixes and different things that they can use. Everybody does. Some people will use just river sand, or what in KZN we know as Umgani sand, a coarse Umgani sand. Others will use a mixture of perlite and palm peat. Others will just use seedling mix. So it really depends on what you want. I like using 2 combinations. 1, I like using a coarse river sand, okay, which is there. That's a coarse river sand. And the second thing I like using is a mixture between my trusted palm peat, which is this block. You all know this block, and this. I like using a 50% mixture of palm peat and a 50% mixture of perlite. Okay, so those are my 2 combinations that I enjoy using. So for today, what we're going to do is we are going to show you a mixture of 50% perlite and 50% palm peat, and it's really easy, guys. What I've got is my palm peat over here, okay, and I'm going to prepare that now. So take that there, and I've got equal quantities of perlite. Now, perlite is a beautiful product. It looks like polystyrene. It looks just like polystyrene. Fine. You can actually crush it. It's a stone. It absorbs water, but because it's quite chunky, see that? And it's got lots of many sides to it. what it means is that there's going to be very good aeration. Okay, and aeration is important. You need good drainage. You need good drainage when you're taking cuttings, which is why I like the perlite, because it's got those sharp edges to it. Okay, so then into a container, we just put our perlite. Okay, right. And then we're going to mix it up. And if I can find my trowel, there it is, I had it a second ago. Mix this up, and it's so light and so beautiful. Now you can have a big mixture of this, okay? And you don't need to use it all. When you've used what you need, you simply then just put a lid in it, or just leave it. Just leave it inside this, and you can come back to it. You don't have to use it all at once, and it can stay like this. Okay, so don't stress about that. Okay, let's mix this all up really nicely. There we go. And it's so light, guys. It really is so incredibly light. Okay, right, I've got my mixture. Okay, let's put that one side here. Right. Next up, let's talk about the cutting material. Let's talk about how we deal with it. And we're doing softwood cuttings. So remember I spoke about this guy here, this little Phygelius. And of course we spoke that it shouldn't be flowering when you do it. But for examples, purposes today, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to take that off there. Okay. So softwood cuttings, guys, it's not about how big the material is, how big the plant is that you're taking a cutting of. We're not taking truncheons here. A truncheon is when you actually take a whole large part off a tree, like large, big, like up to 2 meters, and you can put that in the ground and it will grow. True story. You can do that with figs. You can do that with the coral tree. They all work like that. Okay, so when I'm talking softwood, this is what I'm talking. You can see here. Now, they're the leaf axils, all right? They're my leaves. There's the leaf axil in between there. This is the stem, all right? Just before the next leaf axil, you want to do a little cut, all right? So let's have a look at this, and we're going to snip this off here. There. That is what your cutting should look like. No more than 15 centimeters. No more than that, guys. 2 leaves, ample. 2 leaves are ample. And the bottom cut, when you are preparing, is that you are going to make it at a little 45. Why at a 45? It's important that we do it at a 45 because we're getting more leaf surface. I beg your pardon, more stem surface. So at a 45, if this was square on there, you don't have as much surface for where your hormone powder is going to go to. Very, very important. But before I carry on preparing those, there's one more thing that I want to do. So this is a stressful part of the plant, okay? This is now, the plant's under stress. It's not getting any moisture into it. It's like, yo, cowabunga, what is going on here? And we spoke a bit earlier about pathogens, and pathogens in the soil, pathogens in on our material. And what are those? That's like the fungal spores, and also a really evil fungal infection, which is called Phytophthora. Yeah, Phytophthora. And what it is, that causes rotting. It's a rotting of the plant's roots, a rotting of the stems. But this stuff over here, Root Pro, guys, please get a sachet of this, or get a little container. You get 3 of them inside one of these little guys over here. 3, it's a fungal inoculant. It's got trichoderma in it. Trichoderma, I've spoken about it before, basically is a little fungus that when you put it into water or when you put it into your soil, when you're drenching your plants, actually goes and grows alongside your healthy roots. It eats those bad pathogens for breakfast. It protects your healthy plant roots. It's really good when you're doing seed sowing, and it's also very good when you're taking cuttings, because basically, I'm going to show you what we do. We're going to add this into here because it's a powder. Add that in there. I'm going to add a wee bit of water to it and give it a good stir. So, let's just get that. Add a little bit of water, and we're going to make a little paste of this. And the reason why we do this, guys, is because it's a dry powder. It needs to be able to get infused into it. It's like when you're making any kind of sauce at home in the kitchen, you would normally just mix a little bit first. You know, like when you're making those packet soups or something. So we're going to mix that into here. And you see it's disappearing. Trichoderma, guys, with Root Pro is absolutely insanely good. It has saved so many plants in my garden that were once looking a bit sad because I knew that they had some kind of fungal infection in the root system, and it just got them going. So once that is mixed in, guys, what we're doing is we're putting that into here, okay? Empty that into here. Let's get rid of all that, okay? And then our little cuttings that we are preparing, we take them and we throw them in there. Aha! So now they're living in there, they're getting hydrated before I get to the actual part of doing it. Now let's go back to this. Look here, beautiful, 2 beautiful little softwood cuttings coming off here. Brilliant. Take it, nip it off there, okay? Let me show you what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to strip these 2 lower leaves, strip, and these 2 leaves now. Remember I said you're going to work with 2 leaves or with 4, but because I've got 4 here, I want to reduce the leaf surface, because what that does is it reduces the amount of transpiration, because the plants are still going to be going through their normal process of taking up water, but they're going to be really stressed. So come along and have a look over here. Here's a fine example. This is Star Jasmine. Can you see the leaf surface was cut in half? Okay, because that reduces the transpiration. Okay, so just do that. It works brilliantly. Over here, what I want you to do is cut that off there so that we are just above the node. We've cut it just above the node. Right, in it goes. The next one, I'm going to do exactly the same with the next one. There it is. Pull that leaf off, okay. Reduce the leaf surface there, reduce it there, brilliant, and cut it at a 45 degree. Aha, you see they're small, they're teeny weeny, guys. They're not big things like this. Okay, and it goes. Right, let's throw in some other things into the mix here, because we can. Here would be another perfect example. Too many leaves on here, guys, way too many leaves. So I'm going to strip this leaf off, strip that leaf off, okay. Prepare this 45 degree, cut, beautiful, and throw it into my mixture. Right, good going. Let's have a look what else I've got here. Another little fuchsia. We're going to do that. So take it, strip, get rid of that flower over there. Okay, I can strip here. Above the node, do you see that? Just above the node, I make the little cut. Okay, get rid of these here, get rid of those there. Take that off. Perfect. Do you see that? So there are many different ways that you can actually get to that point. But the most important thing you want to remember is just above the node is where your cut is going to go. And that you want 2 to a maximum 4 leaves, but your lower 2 should be cut. All right. Because that is going to help with your transpiration and with it losing. Okay, let's do 1 or 2 more here, guys, so we can get some beautiful little cutting material in here. Okay, here's a perfect little example. Okay, strip. Oh, this is very therapeutic, guys. Very, very. Reduce that. Cut that. There's my little cutting. Isn't it Nunu? Look. Isn't that Nunu? Absolutely perfect. All right. The promise of things to come. The promise. Okay, right. You've got the idea. You know how to do it. Right. What I want to do now is I'm going to put this aside, and I'm petrified of dropping something on this computer, you know, because I might just like drown it. But anyway, okay, we're going to show you 2 different ways to do this. First thing, what I want you to do is take your mixture, pop it into here. Okay, pop it in, and once you've got it in, I want you just to firm it down slightly Okay, important to firm it down because it's a very loose, light mixture. Okay, there we go. All right. And I'm going to do the same in this pot because I want to show you 2 different ways of doing it. Okay, right. Firm that down. Let's get rid of this over here. Okay. Right, fantastic. Then what I want you to do is to water it. Water your medium. It's important that you water your medium because you don't want to be putting a cutting into a dry mixture because it's not going to hold. The material around it is not going to go onto the plant and help to hold it up. Okay, so that's very, very important. Now, this is where I want to show you. I'm going to get rid of all of this. Okay, and we're going to put these guys onto our tray. And we're going to give them a good watering. Okay. So you've watered your material before you've even put a plant in it. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Right. We're getting there. Next exciting point is this. Because we are doing softwood cuttings, we're going to use rooting powder, the Dino root. We're going to use number 1 because this is for softwood cuttings. Okay. So this is mainly your tip cuttings. And when do you take them? Very good point. When do you take them? Guys, you will take these in early spring. Okay? Or just after the plant has, normally after it's flowered, that's when you would take them. So early spring, that's when is the best time to take your softwood cuttings. Semi-hardwood cuttings would be taken kind of early summer. Okay, that's when you would take them, and hardwood cuttings you take in autumn. Okay, that's your rule. All right, so it's 1, 2, 3, your hormone powders. Think of spring as the beginning. Spring you can take softwood, medium is in summer, hardwood is autumn. Okay, that's your rule that you need to stick with. Now, next point, and this is where a lot of us go wrong. A lot. You take your hormone powder, you never, ever, ever take your plant and dip it straight into your hormone powder. Why? You never ever do that because if this plant had a disease on it, you've basically now spread it to the entire little carton here of Dino root, which means you've infected this. So you never dip it straight in here. What I want you to do is you take a little bit of your hormone powder and you put it into a little bucky like that. Okay? Right. Oh, this is like double bubble, toil and trouble. Okay, then a little bit of water here. It's my little shot glass. Okay, a little bit of water in here, and I'm going to show you what we do with that. Now we're ready. It's time to take our cuttings. We take them out of our mixture. They've been inoculated. Remember with Root Pro. They've been inoculated now. We then take them. We can dip them into there. Dip them into our water. Dip them into our rooting powder. Take a look here. The whole surface. Do you see that? The whole 45 surface has now got the hormone powder on it. And I'm going to do an example to show you. Just stay there, Mason. I want to show you the difference in surfaces if you had to do a flat cut. You can see it. Flat cut, this is a bit thicker, but you can see you've got way more surface area there where roots can develop. And that's why we do that 45 cut. Okay. So once we've taken that, there are various things that people use when they are planting them into here. Some people use pencils. Some people use little society sticks. Some use these little tools over here, these little bonsai tools. It depends on my mood, really, and depending on what I'm taking cuttings of as to what I use. So today I'm going to use this little guy, and I'll show you why, because I like using that end. You can see it's very well used, that end, because I use it to stomp things down once I have taken cuttings. So all I do now is open it up like that, pop the little guy in. That's when I take the back end of this and I just firm it down. We're not pushing it in too deep. Can you see we've gone in about a third of the way? Not even. It's probably about 1 centimeter of the length of this is going into our medium. Very, very important that you don't bury it too deep. Okay, we're going to go there, we're going to go there, and you're going to repeat the process. I'm often asked, Tanya, should you do cuttings on their own, like one cutting in one pot? The answer is no. It's been scientifically proven that plants prefer growing together in cuttings than growing apart on their own. The plants actually send messages and communicate to each other and root far quicker. Isn't it weird? They root far quicker when they are together in a community. They're just like us, guys, which is why COVID is so hard for us, because we love communities. Plants do the same. They love being together, and they root far quicker being together than one plant on its own, which is why, come back with me here, Mason, which is why, do you see that? There's a community. They are all put together. They're all put together here. Interesting. Really, really interesting. Okay, so let's get down to the last of these. I'm going to show you how to put them together, but you get the idea, okay? And you just go along, pop them in. Okay, right. And you'll do the same all the way along. You can put them really close together when you are done. When you are done. Okay. When you are done, what I want you to then do is you give them a very good watering. And you see I use this little fine rose over here. Okay, when you are done, a nice fine watering. And then you would put them into a well-lit space. Guys, not direct sunlight, lots of indirect light. And the most important thing here is about watering. Okay, you've got to keep these guys damp. Don't let them dry out. If they dry out, you're going to be in trouble. Keep them damp. How do we get around that? If we all at work and we can't deal with it, well, I've got a quick solution for you, and it's been done for years, for hundreds of years in growers, and it's this. So let's just quickly show you here. Dip it there. Let's put this little guy in. Let's put him in there. Okay, let's firm him down. Oh, they are so new. And you know, if you've never taken cuttings before and they start growing, you are going to, it's like better than seeds germinating. You are seriously going to jump up and down and be so proud of that little plant. So in a little pot like this, I would be quite comfortable to add 3 little cuttings into it. 3, okay, I'm going to have to steal one from here. Right, I'm taking you, sorry guy, I'm moving you around. And I'm going to put them in here, right. Firm it down. Right. Before we do anything else, we need the label. Okay, remember plant labels, HB pencil. That is all you're using. HB pencil, I'm going to quickly write on what they are so that we don't forget. So this is fuchsia. Oh, my handwriting is terrible. It's the 13th of August. And then I'll pop that little guy in here. Okay, pop it in on the side. And then, this is the tip. This is now for when, if you are not going to have time to water these and you worry about them drying out, you take a little plastic bag, take a Glad bag, boys and girls, all right, and you pop it over just like that. If you are worried that your Glad bag is going to impale, like fall apart, then and fall onto your little cuttings, then just do this. Put some little society sticks in here. Okay. And put your bag back on. And that just helps to hold the bag in place. Okay, you see that? Working very nicely. Right, you've watered, you've put your bag on, you've named them. The next thing I want you to do is make 1 or 2 holes in the top here. Okay, why are we doing that? We're putting 1 or 2 holes in here because we don't want a situation where there are droplets forming and running back down here. If that is the case, sometimes you're adding too much moisture in here, all right? And that can then cause rotting, which is why we have the little holes so it can actually breathe. You are going to need to water this every now and then, and when I say every now and then, probably every 10 to 14 days. And you will see, because your palm peat would have changed color. Where's my palm peat? Oh, I mixed it all up. You will know that if palm peat changes color, okay, it goes much lighter. It's a much lighter brown. And then you know that your plant is thirsty because your soil medium is thirsty. All right, so then you would water it, put your little mini greenhouse back on top, and depending on what type of plant you have and what time of the year you took it, it can take sometimes 6 weeks to root, sometimes 8 weeks, sometimes 12 weeks. That's it. The exact same principle you will follow doing your hardwood cuttings, but remember, please folks, it is a 45 cut. And I want to show you something here very, very quickly. And this is a good way if you are a beginner. So I'm going to just take this out here. Mace, come along, come back with me over here. Can you see that these hardwoods have already started? Look at that. Roots directly off. Look at those little roots. Directly off the hardwood. Hardwoods, you bury deeper, okay, because you've got more to work with. And hardwood cuttings, they will produce roots off the hardwood. Whereas with softwood cuttings, they develop just off where that cut is. Okay, if you've got bits like this, and sometimes you'll be taking cuttings of canes, okay? So say you're taking of a Dracaena or something, and they've got no leaves on it. Some of you forget which is the top and which is the bottom. I know it. It's happened to me if I haven't been paying attention. You can't remember, and then you end up burying the plant upside down. I know it sounds doof, but we've done it. So that's why another good tip is that your top, you do just at a slight angle, your top cut. Slight angle, but your lower cut is a good 45. Do you see that? Then you know, oh yes, okay, 45 is the bottom. That faces down, and your little slight one is at the top. Why do we not make it level? We don't make it level because if you are watering and you've got a level top, I'm going to show you what happens. Did you see that? Look where that water droplet was. You see that? It goes straight into there, and that can cause rot. Whereas if it was a slight angle, it runs straight off. There, it all went straight off. Okay, you don't want little water droplets sitting on there and then hanging out. Okay, right, guys, I want you to watch something because this is also on making more. This is on leaf cutting. So we've gone through the softwood, semi-hardwood, hardwood. We're going to come back to some other examples, but right now, watch this on leaf cuttings, especially if you've got that special African violet, a double pale pink with a fleck of purple in it that you want to keep that was your grandmother's. I'll be back with you right now. Guys, there it is. Isn't that amazing? And I love it. You know, begonias, I didn't used to like them. True story. I didn't used to like them. And then it's kind of, I think a lot of plants are like an age thing or what stage of your life you're in. And I'm mad about begonias now. And we know that they've come back with amazing, amazing color variations. And so wherever I go and I find one, because you always got to go to those stoops, you know, a beautiful stoop, because every stoop has a beautiful begonia on it. And there's the little guy. There is the little guy that we grew from the leaf cuttings. Nice and easy. We got a whole lot more growing. This is a very unusual variety. So I'm very, very chuffed that we got little babies from that leaf. Completely amazing. And the fact that you cut it, we cut it and then the roots just emerged from there. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So, yeah, that's that guy. One thing I neglected to tell you, when you have finished with your hormone powder, and any hormone powder that is left in your little container, you do not put it back into the original bottle. Guys, you throw this away. Very important. You throw this away because if this has got any diseases on it, remember, as we said, you're then putting that back into the little bottle. So please don't do that. Okay, we're going to answer a few questions now, and then we're going to go on to the next step. Let's have a look here. I assume geraniums and pelargoniums are softwood. 100%. They can also be semi-hardwood, and your pelargoniums would fit more into that. They are very susceptible to rotting. Very susceptible. I see someone else here is having problems, Diane. The pelargoniums, geraniums and pelargoniums, I pop them in the sand and the geraniums usually grow, but not the pelargoniums. Yes, because pelargoniums are generally slightly harder, so it would be more classed as a semi-hardwood cutting. And in that case, I would put it in the river sand. Okay, remember we spoke about different options. Rather put that into the river sand with your hormone powder, because that would be a far better option. Come and have a look here with me. Do you see these begonias? They've got a similar consistency in the stem as a pelargonium. Quite spongy, okay, and quite fleshy, which is why the river sand as a well-drained medium is a far better option, okay. And how do we know that it's taken root? Just a gentle tug here. Gentle, gentle tug. No, still not ready yet, but I want to show you these. Come back this end over here, and these guys are good. So these are little star jasmine. So let's give it a little tug. Oh yeah, that baby's good to go. So now we're going to talk about what do we go in the next step. So take your little tool and you're going to loosen it up. Okay, get this little baby out. Oh, look at you. Look at all its little roots. Oh, you can actually see the remnants over there of the hormone powder. If you look really, really close in there. And here, I have the beginnings of a beautiful climber that is going to give me tons of star-shaped, white, fragrant flowers over an arch. Man, can you believe it? Fantastic. Okay, so from this, we then go to this. Okay, got it? See, in little pots like this, because now that they've formed their roots, we know that they love living in this little community. We now pot them up into the next layer. You can't take this little thing and plant it straight into the garden, guys. No, cowabunga, it's not going to happen. Okay, it's going to die. I mean, this thing is still a baby. He's still a little guy. So what we then do is take a little pot. For this mixture, I would just use a plain potting soil, a fine potting soil, nice and easy. Take your potting soil, there it is, firm it down a bit. Okay, we're going to take our little baby. We're going to make a little hole over here. Pop this little guy in nice and gently. We make the hole, we don't push it in because you're going to break these roots off. Because you can see, they're very delicate. If you just shove it in, you are going to break it. So you pull the soil away, put it in, hold the plant whilst you backfill. Hold the plant while you backfill and then firm it down. Okay. Then you firm it down. Oh, look, little Nunu is ready to go. Okay. Next thing, guys, once you've done that, is you want to give it some food. You're going to give it a feeding of Start Grow. That is going to get it going. We've told you that this is really good for seeds. We've told you that it's fantastic for any plants that are transplanting, that are stressed. This little guy is going to be stressed out. So now I want you to make sure that you're giving it some Start Grow to get it into its next part of its life. Okay, got you. Okay, let's get going. Boy, guys, we are moving at the speed of light. Okay, I want to put that away, and I want to show you another quick way of making more. Right. Okay, look. Get in here and take a look. Oh, my mama. Look at these. So this is from my little succulent house, and you know when a leaf breaks off as a gardener, you can't throw something away. I mean, you just can't. And if there's potential for life there, like I'm there, what do they call it? CPR for plants. I am giving it to them. And any little leaf that I have, I want to make more of. And this is one of the easiest ways, certainly with all your succulents, either from cutting off an entire little piece of the plant and planting that into a very well-drained soil. Here I've got a mixture of potting soil and of what's that stuff called? Pool filter sand. That's what we use, pool filter sand, and you can see that this works incredibly well. And here are the little leaf cuttings, guys. I mean, look at this. I'm going to pull this little baby out here. Oh, look at it, it's feeding. So where we've put the little leaf cutting in here, there's the new little baby, completely whole with all its 10 fingers, 10 toes. And there it's growing, and there's its beautiful root system. At the moment, it's drawing energy from this leaf. It draws all the energy from the leaf, and it grows and grows like its little umbilical cord, starts sending out roots, and there we have this little baby. This little guy, once he's a little bit bigger, can then get potted on into a slightly bigger pot to be able to grow. All right. Look over here, a whole lot more, and you will find these. Just even if you go looking around your succulents, you will find little bits like this. You can see there was the main leaf. The main leaf has shriveled completely. It's taken the nutrition. In the same time, it's been making roots. And there you go. Just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Guys, one tip, when you are taking your leaves off of your main plant, like this beautiful ghost echeveria, I love it. I've only got one plant of it. Gotta make more, baby. Gotta make more. So what do? You're going to take your lower leaves, okay? Take your lower leaves, and when you're going to take the leaves off, take the leaf and pull it towards you. Pull the leaf towards you like that. Do you see? It breaks off with what we call a little heel, okay? Because there, where that open wound is, that is where the roots are going to emerge from. So I'm going to take a few leaves off, and I'm going to show you what we do. So there we go. Pull this little guy towards me. Pull it off. Beautiful. Get another little one. Beautiful little heel. There we go. Another little guy. Nice little heel. Okay. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Take one more from here. Okay, that's enough. I'm not doing anything more to that plant. I'm putting it over there. Now, you would do the same. I'm not going to explain it. I'm not going to show you guys because it's really simple. You take the little leaf and you just pop the leaf in just at a slight 45. Can you see here? Slight 45, you just pop it into the soil and then the baby will grow. You can also just let the leaves lie flat on the surface. But many people have different ways of doing things. And there are many different techniques. You've just got to find the one that you're most comfortable with. So now what you do, you've got your leaves. This is another way of propagating. Take one of these little containers that you buy your seedlings in. Remember, disinfect. Nice and easy. We're going to take some of our rooting powder, and I want rooting powder number 1. Where are you? Okay. Let's get that open. Jeez, I sealed this really well, didn't I? If my mother could see me now, she would absolutely kill me after all the money that she spent on my orthodontic treatment. Okay, we clean that out, sterilize this. Very important, sterilize that. Okay, pop a bit of our hormone powder in here. And guys, this is one of the best ways of getting more from your succulents. We don't need a lot. All you do now is you take your little leaf, dip it into there, make sure that you're covering the whole leaf surface. That's been the wound. That's where the wound is. You take this little leaf and all you do is you put it, I don't know if you can get in there to see that, and you just place it there. See that? Just that. That's all you need to do. You don't need to put any soil in there. Absolutely nothing. Take it, and I can actually put another little leaf on the edge here. And the darkness in there promotes the root growth, okay? You don't water it, you don't do nothing, nada, absolutely nothing. Leave it there, and within a few weeks' time, go and pick one of these leaves up and you will see roots developing and another baby growing. Insane! It's wonderful. And when you start, you're just going to make more and more and more. And what do you do with them? Well, you pot them up, draw a smiley face on the pot, and give them away as a gift. Because everyone should leave your house with at least one plant, one cutting, one of something. Celeste asks about proteas. Yes, you can. That would be a semi-hardwood cutting. You would take tip cuttings, and that would be round about December, January. You would take your tip cuttings, semi-hardwood, same process, and I would definitely follow this process with this little house on here because you don't want them to dry out because they're quite susceptible, okay? Can any plant grow from cuttings? Good question. Some are really difficult to root. Some are stubborn customers. And that would be a jade vine. A jade vine, if you had to take 100 cuttings, you'd probably only get 10 to take. That's just the way it is. Because the big man upstairs couldn't make everything that easy to reproduce. Can I use vermiculite? Joan asks, instead of perlite? No, I don't suggest you do that because it's all about the drainage. This is not about, if you're using the palm peat, you've got enough moisture holding capacity there. Use the perlite because of the sharp edges, because it gives you that aeration and the good drainage. Okay. Can I use succulent mix because it's quite loose? Yes, Emma, if you can get succulent mix, use it. Because we can't get it here in KZN. If I need a succulent mix, I've got to go and courier it from Johannesburg, Gauteng. So that's why I make my own. But if you've got succulent mix, absolutely then use it. Folks, we're at the end of our time. Where's an hour gone? I don't know, but what I do want to tell you is please remember that our magazines are on shelf. Grow to Eat magazine, which is everybody's favorite magazine. We've got some fantastic articles in this issue, which is our spring issue. If you're into Mediterranean gardening, folks, and you've always wanted to design your own, then please take a look. We go through the plants, what you can plant, how to use them. We've got a great article here on making an olla pot. An olla, what is an olla pot? Don't Google it, just buy the magazine. Come on. Guys, remember you can also subscribe online. Go to www.thegardener and you can subscribe to our magazine. Remember, The Gardener and Detail Need is also out there. Guys, it's our August issues. It's gardening time, so get out there and please get hold of your magazine. If you wanted to know more about pelargoniums, how to grow them, what varieties are out there, then it's all in here. We talk about woolly paws, a beautiful plant called Anigoxanthus. If you want to learn more about them, then get your hands on our latest copy of The Gardener or Detail Need. Folks, a big shout out to Gardena and Stark Airs. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support. To you folks back home who are watching, love you lots. Please be very safe out there. There are peaks and curves happening all over, but just be safe. And remember, wash your hands, wear your masks, wash your masks, and look after you and your family. Remember, all your questions that I haven't gotten to, I will get to them later this afternoon. God bless you all. Take care of you and yours, and most importantly, happy gardening. Till next week.
Tanya Visser Live was proudly brought to you by Stark Airs, Seeds of Success. Gardena, passion every season. And TanyaVisser.com for all your gardening goodies and supplies.
Calling all green-fingered gurus and plant killers alike. We got you covered every month with gardening inspiration, hands-on practical advice, and fun projects to do. From the latest in plant fashion, growing your own, whether to prune or not to prune, from cover to cover, The Gardener and Detainee magazines have got your back. Get your copy now or subscribe online at thegardener.co.za.
This week on Design For You, we explore a classic contemporary home with Derek Tabbert.
What we try to do is really try and marry the inside with the outside.
We also see the latest furniture collection by the Urban Native. And if you're considering a bathroom makeover, we've got just the inspiration that you've been looking for.
It's all about being bold, and that's what Africa is about. We're very bold people.
All the best tips and advice for your interiors right here on Design For You, only on the Home Channel.
Grand Designs tells gripping tales of personalized homes and their owners. From architectural designer mansions to never-before-seen DIY homes, architect Chris Moller will chart their journeys. No design is too ambitious.
Our place will look over top of the buildings and get a full 180-degree view of the city.
No obstacle too large for these bold makers of grand designs.
There wasn't a lot of boulders here, quite frankly, because they were buried under the ground. And then in planning for the house and laying out the possible driveway, they uncovered 60 boulders.
All of these come from the drive and...
From there and there, yes.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is unbelievable. Just coming around the corner, the way that it is sitting in the landscape, it just feels like it belongs here.
Don't miss Grand Designs New Zealand, only on the Home Channel. The property brothers Jonathan and Drew Scott turn any fixer-upper into a dream home.
Even though you do say that you want some traditional, maybe you consider this floor traditional.
I do.
But I hate it.
Each week, Drew tracks down a property with untapped potential for a set of house hunters.
Decisions. I can't make this decision for you. Which house do you see yourselves raising Everson in?
Once the deal is sealed, Jonathan gets to work transforming a simple house into a dream home.
I love you guys. Wow.
Wow.
Whoa, look at this.
Welcome home.
Wow. This is gorgeous.
Whoa. This is awesome.
I love this table. I love the gold on it.
My dream home, only on the Home Channel.
A table is more than a piece of furniture, just as food is more than mere fuel. When I moved into my first home many years ago, before I did anything else, I bought a table, and not just to eat at, but to live around.
At my table, when I'm winding down at the end of a long day, they're ready for me, and I'm ready for them. Celebrating friendship at weekend feasts, or making memories with family, the food I eat is vibrant and varied.
I can hear how good this is going to be.
The essential welcoming taste of home.
There is no elegant way to eat them, and that's in their favour. Whether I'm pottering about at the stove or sitting at the table, I want pleasure, I want flavour, and I want ease. Life can be complicated. Cooking doesn't have to be.
On Real Health this week, we'll be taking a closer look at the causes and treatment solutions for chilblains. We'll be discussing iron deficiency anemia, as well as ways to maintain healthy iron levels. We'll then be discussing the health benefits of phytochemicals and some of the ways that we can incorporate them into our diets. Then we'll show you how to get the taste of the Far East with a tantalizing Thai stew. And we'll also be giving you tips to help you get unstuck and gain a new perspective for positive results. That's Real Health this week, only on the Home Channel.